Let's run away together on love. Lead me into your world.
Hey, what is up guys, it's your boy Dre back at it again with another video. So I did mention it in the Discord. By the way, if you're not in my Discord, make sure to join down below. I was gonna do OGC Nice, but I got busy with school and other things, so I did not want to make you guys wait for another video, like wait a day without no video. So I'm gonna do here a small video, maybe 10-15 minutes. Basically today's video we're gonna be talking about the FIFA 22 ratings that were just released, the top 22 players. If you guys going to enjoy this video, make sure to click that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell, get notified anytime we do post with FIFA 22 coming real soon, for me at least 7 days. Make sure to click that notification bell so you guys don't miss out my FIFA 22 content. I have many things planned, except from the 23rd to the 26th I won't be active because I'll be going out of town, but once I come back I'll be like back again 100%. So basically you guys will see uploads the 20th to probably the 23rd, but 24, 25, 26, and maybe even 27 you won't see any uploads for like 4 days, and then I'll come back and record some videos for you guys. But anyways, as for the OGC Nice series, I need to finish that up because we have 7 days till FIFA 22 comes out and we're only halfway done. So hopefully I can speed it up. Hopefully I'm able to finish it before for FIFA 22, basically before I get FIFA 22. But anyways, like I said in today's video, we're basically just going to react to the ratings, and you're going to hear me talk about some ratings. I disagree with some of them, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so like I wanted to do this like reveal thing, like I wish it was like a list, but the only thing that have been released for the ratings is just pictures with like 11 players and then the other 11, so I can't really reveal for you guys. So if you guys have not seen it, like you guys are going to see it in the screen, and I'll talk about each and every one. So starting out this video, we're going to go ahead and look at Sadio Mane. So Sadio Mane, last year, he was a 90 rating, and to be honest, I think it's pretty fair that he did go down. I think it's just because of the expectations that are set by him. That's why they gave him a low rating. I just think that he didn't have the best season, but he didn't have a bad season either. He did play 35 games, 11 goals, and 7 assists. So I think mainly, I just know maybe something wasn't hitting from him, but obviously Liverpool did have that loads and loads of injuries from those players. And like I said, Sadio Mane, amazing player. I guess he's been getting a lot of stick recently, especially recently, because I think he missed a couple chances against the last game they played, which was, I believe it was Leeds. But Sadio Mane does not deserve this stick, trust me. He's such an amazing player. But I think it's pretty fair to keep him, to put him down to an 89 rating. Maybe it could have gone all the way to an 88, but I think that would have been still a massive downgrade. But Sadio Mane 89, it's fair with me. By the way, I'm not gonna be like completely okay with all of them, because there's some I'm really mad about. Well, not mad, I just completely disagree with some of them. But let's go ahead and move on to the next player. Moving on to the next player, it is Ederson from Man City. Obviously, Man City did win the league title, and they did get knocked out by Chelsea in the Champions League final. So Ederson, to be honest, he had a pretty good season, but I think for FIFA, when it comes to goalkeepers, they do prevent from upgrading goalkeepers unless they have a superb season. So obviously Ederson, like I said, they won the league. He did have 19 clean sheets. He made 66 saves. Probably not his fault, because Man City didn't get many shots on them as other teams do. And he obviously got that one assist from like full field to Gundogan, and he conceded 28 goals. So with one error as well leading to goal. So like I said, pretty decent season from him last year. Pretty good season from him. But like I said, with goalkeepers, it's really difficult for them to upgrade like really high unless they have a superb season. Like we're gonna get to Donnarumma in a couple. But yeah, I think that's a pretty fair rating. Like I said, keeping him in the same thing as Alisson, because Alisson had a very similar season. So let's go ahead and move on to Casemiro. Okay, so moving on to Casemiro, who was an 89 rating last year. So he did keep his rating. Obviously, Madrid didn't have the best season last year, but I think him, along with Courtois and obviously Benzema, were the only really good players last year at Real Madrid. He played 32 games, played almost 90 minutes in every single match. He did score 6 goals. For CDM is not too bad, and obviously he's not an attacker, so that's not really his thing. With 4 assists as well. But looking into his other stats, he did have, let's go ahead and look. He attempted over 124 tackles and completed 84, so it's around 68%, I'm sorry. Getting 10 yellow cards isn't probably the best. With 1 red card, it's not too bad. And also, obviously, passes is very important for him, because he is the center of that midfield when he does play. He completed 84 of his passes. So, like I said, when it comes to like CDM, center mids, when they don't score a bunch of goals, you have to really look into these stats to kind of determine the performances. Especially with me, since I don't really watch, well, I do watch La Liga, but I didn't really focus on Real Madrid last year. I mainly focused more on the Premier League because I had less time to watch games. But I still listened to a lot of people. I still watched a couple games from Real Madrid, and when he did play and I did watch, he did perform really well. So I think keeping his rating is really fair. Maybe sad to see that he didn't go up, but like I said, when it's really hard to reach that 90 mark. especially in FIFA, because FIFA is kind of corrupt in some ways. But let's go ahead and move on to Courtois. So moving on to Courtois, like I said, one of the main players at Real Madrid who performed pretty well. He did play 38 games, 90 saves. That's a lot of saves. To be honest, that's a lot of saves. He completed 843 passes from the back, which is really good for a goalkeeper. But yeah, Courtois, obviously, he's been around for a couple years. He's been a really good goalkeeper for a couple years. Other than that first year, well, the first half season at Real Madrid, because even in the second part of that season, he did pick up form. Obviously, last year he did keep almost 3 saves per match, which is pretty good. But considering Real Madrid usually dominate almost every match, that didn't really have too many shots against him. But like I said, Madrid didn't have the best season. Courtois did help a lot for them to, you know, make as far as they did in the Champions League and keep their position in the league table, which I believe they finished second. So nothing too much to say about Courtois. Like I said, nothing outstanding. When a goalkeeper has an outstanding season, that's when they'll go up in rating. So Courtois really lived up to his expectations like usual. So let's move on to Alisson. Okay, so moving on to Alisson, as of last year, he was a 90 rating. So he did go down in rating. And I do believe it's because Liverpool did have a poor season. However, he kind of did have a poor season for his standards, at least. Only keeping 10 clean sheets. But like I said, it's not completely his fault, because Liverpool did have a bunch of injuries at the start of the season and throughout the whole season. He had 3 errors leading to goal, though. That's kind of way too much for a class goalkeeper like him. Making 84 saves, though, is a lot more than... Well, not a lot more, maybe like 10, 15 more than Ederson did. But I think Liverpool faced more shots last year than Man City did, because Man City have a better defense, at least of last season, because Van Dijk was injured. But he did save that 1 penalty. But other than that, kind of a disappointing season. He did score that goal, though. That 1 goal. That game. But pretty fair, to be honest, to go down. Maybe he could have even kept his rating. But I think just because of like that error he made. And Liverpool had that bad season, they had to downgrade him to keep him where Ederson is, especially because Ederson won the league title, and obviously Alisson didn't really win anything last year, so they probably felt that they should have left it level. So let's go ahead and move on to Heung-min Son. Okay, so moving on to Heung-min Son, he was an 87 last year, and I'm really happy with this. Maybe he could have pushed for a 90, but 89 is still fair. So Heung-min Son has probably been one of the best, if not the best, well, barring Harry Kane, player at Tottenham for the past couple seasons. I think he might have been there for 3-4 years already, and I don't think he deserves to be there anymore. But that's not the point of this video. We're reacting to his rating. I think it's a really fair rating. I think it's about time he's higher than an 87, because I think that's his highest rating. And he did make 37 appearances last season, at least for the Premier League, 17 goals and 10 assists. So one of the very few players that did get double digits for both goals and assists, kind of like Harry Kane. So I believe that's why Harry Kane is higher rated, because they both had similar seasons, though. But I feel like he's like, if Harry Kane would have left, I think Tottenham would have been not completely fine, but they would have been fine off with Heung-min Son, because Heung-min Son would have been firing the way Kane does, probably playing at striker if Harry Kane would leave. But like I said, Kane stays, so that's good for Son. But I think Son deserves a move. Like I said, we're not talking about this today, but I think he deserves a move. He should go somewhere else so he can win some titles, because he does really deserve it, man. But nothing too much to say more about Heung-min Son. Like I said, very well deserved. Nothing really much to complain about. So let's go ahead and move on to Joshua Kimmich. Okay, so moving on to probably my favorite player in this list. This might be a little bit biased, but I think Kimmich deserves to be an 90. He's an 89, not disappointed. He did go up +1. He was an 88. So I think if you guys saw my last video, I did say Joshua Kimmich is the best CDM in the world, but that's not what we're talking about today. So Joshua Kimmich did score 4 goals last year. First CDM is not too bad, and 10 assists is not too bad as well. But like I said, with Casemiro, there's a lot to than just goals and assists for a CDM. So Kimmich, as you guys know, originally a right back, has transformed into a midfield and has been playing both positions ever since he joined Bayern. And I think last season he played a big part playing right back, because Pavard was injured at the start. Then eventually he moved back to the CDM position. So he made 83 tackles attempted, only 40 tackles completed. But I just feel like, because there isn't really too much to tackle in the Bundesliga with Bayern usually dominating the ball. But obviously, maybe he could work on that a little bit. It's still not bad. I mean, Casemiro is a better tackler. But Kimmich, let's talk about his passes, because he made 1,937 passes and completed 1,713. That's 88 passes completion percentage. So that's a really big season for Kimmich. I think he was one of the crucial players for Bayern Munich last year, even though they didn't make it that far into the Champions League. I feel like maybe they could win it this year. With Lewandowski staying. If he would have left, maybe that would have been a problem. But Kimmich has been one of the better players, one of the underrated players in the Bundesliga and for Bayern Munich for a long time now. So I think he deserves that 89 rating, and I hope that by next year he will have that 90 rating that I believe he does deserve. Moving on to Van Dijk, there's nothing really much to say about him. He was a 91, I believe, last year. and he was injured. He didn't really play too much. I don't even think he played at all, other than like the first 3 games of the season. So yeah, I don't want to waste too much time on him. He was injured, unlucky for him. So 89 is respectable. I think went down +2. Went down +2. Went down -2. So nothing too much to say about him. Okay, so moving on to Benzema, here lies my first issue. So I think Benzema now being 90 rated is absolutely criminal. Benzema was easily, by far, clear the best player at Real Madrid last season. I think he absolutely carried them. And obviously, I think he had a disappointing Euros. Maybe that would have affected. If he would have had a good Euros, I think he would have been that 90 rating easily. But it's still very criminal to have him at only 89 rating. So he did score 22 goals last season with 9 assists. It's really good for a striker. But you have to think about Madrid didn't have the best season. Vinicius wasn't kicking on like the way he is at the start of this season. Isco obviously hasn't been in his best form. Rodrigo as well. We had Lucas Vazquez, who doesn't really do too much. Like the amount of creativity that probably wasn't given to him, like he should have gotten. So the fact that he scored all of these goals with minimum creativity, I'm not saying that he didn't have any creativity at all in the team, but he did so much for that team last year. I just think it's absolutely criminal that he stayed at an 89. Obviously, he didn't go down, which I'm pretty glad. If he would have gone down, I would have been extremely mad. But I think it's just, how is he not 90 rating? I think he deserves it. But like I said, maybe it's because he's a little bit older. They don't want to give him 90 rating, and they don't want a lot of people 90 rating, I assume. But I'm really disappointed that he's not that 90 rating. I think he deserves it, but 89 is still fine as long as he doesn't go down. But he had a huge season last year, and he's gonna have one this year as well. Okay, so moving on to the next player, it is Donnarumma. So last year, Donnarumma was an 85. I think I'm completely fine with this. If he was higher rated last year and he was only an 89 this year, maybe I would have had a problem. But I think a +4 is very, very reasonable. Okay, so I don't want to talk too much about Donnarumma. As for the Euros, because we all know how amazing he did, obviously. Let's talk about his league, though. So I feel last year, Donnarumma was easily the best goalkeeper in the whole world last year. But obviously, there's other players with more class that have been performing. So that's why I feel like he shouldn't be the highest rated. But, I mean, it's very questionable because All Black had a huge season, as always. But a lot of people don't know. Like, I felt like he should have won what Jorginho won, which was the UEFA Player of the Year. Because, I mean, obviously Jorginho won the Champions League, but Donnarumma was such a huge help in the Serie A for Milan, and as well as the Europa League. Because 37 games played, 92 saves is absolutely huge. I feel like without Donnarumma in that Italy side, they wouldn't have won the Euros, and without him in the Milan side, they wouldn't have challenged for the title the way they did. So, but I'm not disappointed. Like I said, I think he had a huge season, as he has always been doing ever since the age of 16, since he started. Finally getting into the World Star stage. Obviously performed in the world stage in the Euros, and very deserved the 89 rating. Okay, so we're moving on to the last player on this list, and then we're gonna go on to the other list, which is the top 11, I think. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, the other 11, the top 11 of the game. So probably the most controversial pick so far is Mohamed Salah. I have no idea why Salah is an 89 rating. Salah is literally the most underrated Premier League player that, like, for the past couple seasons. Why did he go down in rating? I don't understand. Like, I'm so furious about this because Liverpool had, like, to the standards, a bad season, but Salah was the only one. Like, I feel like one of the only ones, along with like maybe Henderson had a pretty good season, but I think Salah was easily the best player last year for Liverpool. The fact that he went down, though, is absolutely crazy. He played 37 games in the Premier League, 22 goals and 5 assists. Maybe not as much assists as he usually gets, but 22 goals, that was around the Golden Boot, which was won by Harry Kane, I believe, at the end. So yeah, it was Harry Kane, and you have to think about this. Harry Kane only beat him by 1 goal. So the fact that Mohamed Salah went down is absolutely disgusting, in my opinion. Like, I have no idea what's wrong with FIFA, like, downgrading Salah. Maybe he could have kept his rating. I feel like maybe he would have even gone up one to a 91 rating. But I have no idea why they've downgraded him for no reason. Like, he did amazing last year, considering Liverpool had a very horrible season. But like I said, I can't really say anything. This is probably the second most controversial rating in the whole list. You guys will see my most controversial rating in the next list. But I'm very disappointed to see that Salah has an 89 rating. I'm pretty sure, like, in the winter upgrades, he's going to get a 90 because he's going to have a good start to the season. He already has, and he's going to continue to perform like he always does, because I feel like he's been probably the most underrated player in the Premier League ever since he joined, and I think he might be one of the best ever Liverpool players once he retires, if he stays with the club for the rest of his career. But let's go ahead and move on to the top 11 players of FIFA 22. Okay, so here are the big boys. I wish I could do some sort of review, but like I said, I can't really do anything about that because there's only screenshots, at least from what I found, and I can't find anything else. So, and like I said, I don't have a lot of time today, so I'm recording this video, find these screenshots. Okay, so let's quickly cover the goalkeepers. The goalkeepers, Ter Stegen and Neuer. Obviously, Barcelona were in shambles. I don't really want to read off their stats because we know. Let's also talk about Oblak because it's just goalkeepers. A lot of you guys don't really like goalkeepers, and I love goalkeepers, but like I said, like I mentioned in the last bit when I was talking about Ederson, Alisson, all of these goalkeepers performed up to their expectations. So considering they performed up to their expectations, there's no really a need for them to upgrade or downgrade. I'm pretty sure everyone stayed the same, barring Manuel Neuer. I think Manuel Neuer may have gone up. I know Oblak was a 91 for sure last year, and Ter Stegen was also a 90. But let me just double check on that. Okay, so I was kind of wrong. Oblak was 91, Ter Stegen was 90, but Neuer was 89. So I mean, I think it's fair though. Obviously, Bayern Munich won the league again, and we all know why Neuer did go under the 90 rating, because of that one season he had, like maybe 2 seasons ago, was disappointing. Finally, he stayed consistent and obviously performed really well, and he got that 90 rating. But like I said, don't really want to get into goalkeepers that much because they really did their expectations as usual, because these goalkeepers, all respect to them, they have such high expectations, and I'm really glad that they're able to keep them. So let's go ahead and move on to N'Golo Kante. Okay, so moving on to N'Golo Kante, straight away, he was an 88 rating, moving up to a 90. In my opinion, no disrespect to Jorginho, because who had an amazing season. I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, Jorginho's the best midfielder. No, Kante is easily the best midfielder at Chelsea, and he didn't score any goals. Surprisingly, Kante is not known for shooting. He did grab 2 assists, which is not too bad, to be fair, but obviously his defensive stats or something else, which I think haven't been his best, but he still had a really good season. Obviously, was the main core of getting Chelsea to that Champions League win. So let's read off a couple of stats. Only 53% tackle success, which kind of lets me down a little bit, but I know he's a lot better player than that. But he's a hardworking player. He shows it on the pitch. He runs a lot, considering he does have 59 interceptions, winning the ball in crucial moments, 26 clearances. Obviously, not a lot of people do clearances, but his best stat was his 194 recoveries, which is huge. That's when you know he's a hardworking CDM, because he's always recovering the ball. That's basically his job. Like, he's in that CDM, holding back. That way, Jorginho doesn't do as much defensive work, which he did, to be fair. He did a lot of defensive work and played from the back to help N'Golo Kante. But obviously, they had a managerial change last year with Thomas Tuchel, but I still think Kante did a pretty good season. I feel like it may have not been his best season, but obviously, I still think he deserves that 90 rating. Kind of controversial because I love Kante. Don't get me wrong, I love Kante. But I think Kimmich, no, I can't say that. Now, you know what? Kante is better than Kimmich. So, really good season from Kante again. Won the Champions League. Didn't do too well in the Euros. France didn't make it that far, but let's go ahead and move on to Harry Kane. Okay, so moving on to the Golden Boot winner of last year, it is Harry Kane. Not his best season in terms of goals, but he's still really good. I feel like Harry Kane had such a monumental season last year. Like, it's such a crucial season for the rest of his career now. Sad to see that he didn't get to the move though. But let's go and move on to his FIFA rating, because I forgot to check that. Let's actually check real quick before I say anything else. Yeah, he was an 88. So I think he's well deserved easily of that 90 rating. I don't think he's the best striker in the world, but he's really good. But like I said, monumental season for him because of how many assists he got. He did get top goal scorer and top assist last season, which I think is absolutely amazing. I think he completely carried that Tottenham side, as with Heung-min Son, the only 2 players who really did really good for Tottenham. But like I said, it's really sad to see that he didn't get his move. I think Harry Kane's gonna have a slower season this year though. But we're not talking about predictions, I guess. We're gonna be talking about his rating. Fully deserved. I think he should be the 3rd best striker. For some reason I still see Ronaldo as a winger, but he is fully deserved of that. Actually, no, 4th rated. I didn't say Mbappe. Yeah, 4th rated best striker in the game. I think that's completely fair. No arguments about that. Okay, so we're moving on to the most controversial rating of this video. I have no idea how. So, Neymar is a 91. How is he the same rating as KDB, Mbappe, and Ronaldo? Is something I don't understand. Don't get me wrong, Neymar, amazing player. Super talented. But he did not have a bigger season as Mbappe did or Cristiano did. I have no idea how they're the same rating, those 3. But I don't know what. I think because Neymar is such a marketable person, they have to have him like there. Neymar, I think he was an 81 last year. Let me just double check. Obviously, PSG made it to that semi-final. The semi-final of the Champions League. Yeah, he was an 81, so he maintained his thing. But I think what I'm checking here is, it's in the League One. He only played 15 games in the league. Only 9 goals as well, and 5 assists. That is nowhere near his best season, and he's been lower rated on his better seasons. Like at Barcelona, he was only 88 when he had such an amazing season. Like I said, Neymar's a crucial player for PSG, but he did not have. He should have gone down. The fact that Salah went down and he didn't go down is actually really disappointing to me. It's actually criminal to have Neymar as rating as Cristiano and Mbappe. But like I said, FIFA have this thing where they're really controversial in some parts. So I think Neymar is absolutely lucky to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This tied for the 3rd best player in the game. But let's go ahead and move on to Mbappe. Okay, so moving on to Kylian Mbappe, I think it's kind of criminal that he's not higher rated than Neymar, but I think he fully deserves his 91 rating. He went up a +1. Once you reach around that 90 rating, it's really hard to go up +2, +3. I said in my last video, I believe Mbappe is gonna have a better season than Messi this year. But like I said, that's not what we're talking about today. Mbappe played 27 games in the league with 27 goals exactly. So a goal per game with 7 assists. So, I mean, there's nothing much to say about Mbappe. We all know how good he is. The top goal scorer of League 1 for 4 seasons now. I do believe it is. Winning the Golden Boot 4 seasons in a row is absolutely amazing. Didn't have the best Euros. We know he missed that penalty. I still think that he's probably maybe the 3rd best player in the world, at least in form right now. Not in class because he hasn't gotten in there yet. But sad to see his Madrid move didn't materialize, but he's going to Madrid next year. There's no worries. I felt like it would have been stupid for him to move now because he can win a Champions League with Messi there. But like I said, I'm not more upset about Mbappe's rating. I'm more upset that Neymar is the same rating as him. I feel like Mbappe should be higher rating than Neymar. He's a better player than Neymar at this point. Like I said, Neymar, I have no idea what's wrong with him. It's just injuries that get to him, and obviously he can't really play every single game like other players do. But it's criminal that, I mean, his rating is good. Mbappe's rating is fair. But I think it's criminal that Neymar is the same rating as him. So now let's go ahead and move on to KDB. Okay, so moving on to Kevin De Bruyne. I feel like Kevin De Bruyne is really unlucky with injuries because he's been like at that 91 rating, I swear, for like the past 3 FIFAs. But like I said, I think he deserves to be a 91, now going up because he got injured again last year, only making 25 appearances in the Premier League, 6 goals and 12 assists. Another amazing season from him, barring his injury. Creating an outstanding 19 big chances last year is absolutely amazing. Obviously, his passes, he had a lot of passes per match around 50. That's what it's saying here. Like I said, I think he's just like stalling off those injuries that he does get every season. If he could stay fit, I think he can maybe reach into that 92 rating next year. He's gonna have another big season if he does play a lot. Like I said, nothing too much to say about Kevin De Bruyne. 91 rated, fully deserved because of his injuries. If he wouldn't gotten injured, I'm sure he would be the top 3 easily. Man City obviously won the league title, like I said earlier, with Ederson, and they did reach the final of the Champions League. But let's go ahead and move on to the top 3. Okay, so moving on to Cristiano Ronaldo, another controversial decision. I don't think it's the most controversial. Well, he's part of the most controversial. I think it's pretty controversial though. The fact that he went down in rating, very similar to Mohamed Salah. Cristiano Ronaldo, okay, maybe he didn't have his 50 goal season like he usually does, but he still got top scorer of the league. Like he beat Lukaku, and he was the top scorer of the Euros. I think he wasn't top scorer of the Champions League because he went to do pretty bad. But why did he downgrade? Beats me. I feel like he should have stayed at a 92, but I feel like they just wanted Lewandowski to pass him. That's the only reason. But he's gonna have a huge season at Man United. He's gonna score so many goals. Might even go back up to that 92 rating. But like I said, I have no idea why he's a 91. I can't really say too much about him. You guys saw him all around this season. Like everybody knows about Ronaldo. Everybody knows about his numbers. He's breaking records left and right, and he's somehow disrespected to be a 91, same as Neymar, which is absolutely criminal. But moving on to Lewandowski. Okay, so moving on to Lewandowski, who I believe is right now in form the best player in the world. So he should have won the Ballon d'Or last year, and he better win it this year. If he doesn't win it this year, I'm sorry, Messi. I know Messi had a huge season, but Lewandowski has to win the Ballon d'Or this year. He had 28 games played only, 41 goals in the Bundesliga. That's just his Bundesliga stats. 41 goals and 7 assists, pretty well as well. We all know how good Lewandowski is. I think he's very unlucky to play for Poland, as much as he loves his country. Poland don't have the best team. Let's look at his stats in the Champions League. I haven't been looking at Champions League stats so far, but he did score 5 goals in 6 games, which is not too bad. Obviously, Bayern Munich getting knocked out pretty early, which I thought they would get even farther. But I'm finally glad Lewandowski's like 92 rating. By the way, I forgot to change his rating last year, and I believe it was a 91. Yeah, it was a 91. So he deserves to go up. I'm be surprised if he didn't go up at all. Especially he scored 40 goals in the league. That's absolutely insane. Fully deserved to be the second best player. Although I felt like he should be tied with Ronaldo maybe. But like I said, there has to be, I guess, that difference because he did score 41 goals obviously. But if he does not win the Ballon d'Or this year, I have no idea what's going on with football world. I love Messi, don't get me wrong. I just think Lewandowski has deserved it. Like, if he would have won it last year and he would perform like this, he would have won it this year again. He would have had back-to-back Ballon d'Ors, but it would have been the first time, like, other than Ronaldo and Messi, that someone to win a back-to-back Ballon d'Or because he had such an amazing season. The only thing that lets him down is the Euros, which I think Messi's gonna win it just because he won the Copa America, by the way. Like I said, no disrespect to Messi, but I think the reason he's going to win the Ballon d'Or this year is because he won the Copa America. Like, it's crazy. Lewandowski's gonna go his whole career without winning Ballon d'Or. It's absolutely crazy. Like, he should have won it last year. He deserves to win it this year. But just, we're gonna have to wait till December. I really hope he wins. I'm such a huge Lewa fan. But like, it's not even biased at all because you guys know how good he is. But obviously, let's move on to top dog, Lionel Messi. Okay, so moving on to Lionel Messi, everyone's favorite player. Everyone thinks he's the best player in the world. He probably is, to be fair. I'm not a Messi fan. I'm a Ronaldo fan, if any of the two. But Messi is such an amazing player. We all know that. Obviously, heartbreaking that he left Barcelona. Heartbreaking to see, even for me, someone who's not a huge Messi fan. I love Messi, though. 33 appearances in the league, 30 games. Absolutely carried Barcelona. Put the team on his back. Like, absolutely put the team on his back. Like, there's not really nothing left to say. Didn't reach far in the Champions League, but he finally won that elusive trophy that's been waiting for him many years. Finally winning that international trophy that he's been waiting for his whole career. Fully deserved, in my opinion. Probably should have won more. But like I said, 93 rating. He deserves to be... like, I don't think Lewandowski deserves to be higher rated than Messi. 100% no, that's not true. I just feel like Lewandowski needs to win the Ballon d'Or. He deserves it for last year and for this year. I heard that they might award the winner for last year and this year. So imagine if Lewandowski's given 2 Ballon d'Ors. That'd be crazy. But I think Messi's gonna win Ballon d'Or. As much as I don't want him to, I think Lewandowski deserves it more. But I mean, I wouldn't be too mad. But like, when Modric won it, I was kind of mad. I don't think he deserved it as much. But yeah, no surprise to see Messi up top. Maybe Ronaldo should have been 92 though. Like I said, if I were to change some, I'd downgrade Neymar to maybe farthest 89. Maybe that's a little bit too harsh, but he should not be a 91. Ronaldo should go back up to a 92. Salah should easily at least maintain his rating, maybe even gone up one. I feel like Benzema should have been a 90. Obviously, I went over that. And pretty much it. I agree with everyone here in the top 22. So that's basically it for this video. I noticed the recording is 52 minutes long because I messed up a couple times, but I'm gonna fix it. It's gonna be maybe hopefully 15 minutes long. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to click that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell, get notified anytime we do post. Like I said, I didn't have enough time to make OGC Nice. I need to edit right away because it's already 10:15. And tomorrow I'm gonna try my best because school has been killing me because I didn't pay attention the first 3 weeks because I was online school. But now we're back in class, so I'm trying to catch up a little bit. I've been reading the books though, but like I said, by the time FIFA 22 comes, I'm gonna be 100% ready to do school and everything ready together because I know you guys want to see FIFA 22 content, and I have so many ideas. I might have so much variety next year because like I don't know what ideas to tackle first. I know the first 3 days I have FIFA, I'm not starting a series because I'm having FIFA the 20th, but I'm leaving the 23rd. So I don't want to start a series and then have 4 days without the series episode. So I'm gonna do like probably challenges the first 3 videos. And then when I come back, that's when I start my series. So that gives you guys more time to decide on a series. If you guys have not decided a series, comment down below. We need a series idea. FIFA 22 is coming real soon. Like I said, I don't want to leave you guys without a video. Here's your video. Make sure to check out Weekly Dose of Football. The video kind of flopped, but it's completely fine. I really enjoyed making that video. I really love talking about football. I really like it. I hope maybe one day I can make more videos about that. But right now we're sticking to FIFA. I really like FIFA. I'm trying to get more guests though every week. Make sure to leave some suggestions, by the way, down in the Google Forms down below for some Weekly Dose of Football. But anyways, we should always do the things that you love, the things that make you happy, and just be yourself, man. It's been your boy, ADROIIIT. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day, and chamos.